Yeah, you posted on X, BLM is a domestic terrorist organization.
They are because they use violence and intimidation to push their political agenda. That is the definition of terrorism. And and obviously they were founded in the United States, so it's domestic. I mean, look at the George Floyd riots. You're over here, right, making a criminal, career criminal, by the way, George Floyd, aka George Fentanyl, a martyr. Give him a golden casket. What? This guy's a scumbag, committing crimes all over the place. He died of a fentanyl overdose, right? Chauvin didn't kill him. We should give Chauvin a goddamn.
And he's still in prison, right?
He's still in prison, getting stabbed and everything else like that.
Crazy,
right? And he didn't get a fair trial at all because there was an enormous amount of pressure to indict him, and then the FBI followed up and hit him with federal charges because, again, right? We live in a world of social justice and public appeal. So I think he needs to be pardoned because at the end of the day, we know Chauvin didn't really kill him. It was the fentanyl that killed him.
Yeah. And
right?
As someone that worked for the government, do you think these agencies have been weaponized in a certain degree?
Yeah, no, they definitely have. And then the other thing too, I want people to realize is that we live in a world. So what the George Floyd riots did was they basically made every DA in America terrified of having BLM riots in their city. So what ended up happening, I noticed, is anytime a police officer has a use of force or something happens, the status quo now is the DAs indict. No matter what, okay. Use of force situation against a minority. Okay, we don't want our cities going on fire. Let's indict it. Let's charge the guy. Let the jury deal with it. Daniel Penny, same example. They knew they had a weak case. Let's indict it. Let's prosecute him because let the jury figure it out. Because here's the thing. If they actually go to trial, right, and the guy's found innocent by his own peers, guess what? You can't blame the city, or you can't light the city on fire as much. It's not going to cause as much outrage. Of course, there's still going to be outrage, but it was the people that found him innocent. It wasn't us. Like, we arrested him. We did our job. You know, it's not our fault. So now we're seeing state governments, local governments, for fear of their city burning down, like Minneapolis, which was terrible, by the way. They destroyed that city, right? Did you know, by the way, I did shout out to my guy, Stu Peters. I had a Twitter space with him. He said that when they deployed the National Guard out there to help, they couldn't even have ammunition in their guns.
What? Why?
Dude, because he was there in Minneapolis when all this happened. The cops couldn't use any real force against them, against the rioters when they were like throwing Molotov cocktails at the police station. It was craziness.
Wow, because they were scared of another George Floyd?
They were that scared. Yep.
Damn.
Yep. And Waltz, the governor at the time, who tried to be our vice president, that loser, he literally sent the National Guard and they didn't have ammunition in their guns.
That's crazy.
At least on the first or second day when they came in, it was ridiculous, man. So, and the rioters caught on to this. That's why they were so brazen doing the that they were doing. So, yeah, man, like everyone is scared of another George Floyd riot. So that's why in a lot of these cities, they're just charging the police officers no matter what. And that's created a chilling effect where now the police officers don't even really want to do their jobs. They're resigning, etc. And I find it incredible how, let's just call a spade a spade. The most violent and dangerous cities in America, what are they? They're all
liberal,
blue cities,
yeah.
Liberal, and what? Huge population of black people. I said it. I don't care. It is what it is. Why is it that all of the most crime-ridden cities have a huge black population?
And it goes back to what you said earlier. No
If
fathers.
the truth is racism, then call me a racist, whatever.
Well, you can't even be racist against your own, right?
I guess not, right? But they wouldn't consider me black. That's how they get me out. They're like, well, you ain't one of us. You're Arab. Idiots.
You're only half. It doesn't count.
My family's from Sudan, literally the land of the blacks. And they want to sit there, oh, because on your country. I was born and raised here. I carry an American passport. I've served this country. I have more allegiance to the nation than you because I actually call it like it is. I'm not going to sit here and lie because, race politics and I don't want to feel about it, but talking about black people. The truth is the truth. Black people commit a disproportionate amount of the crime in the United States, and it's a problem because we have fatherless households.
Yeah.
That's the issue. And everyone else is too scared to say this because they don't want to be labeled a racist or kicked off the internet, whatever. It's a black problem. It needs to get fixed with the father in the households. These women need to stop having sex with, Pookie and Ray Ray without a condom and having these kids out of wedlock and creating all these issues. That's the problem. But no one wants to address that because that's racist.
And a lot of people have victim mentality.
Huge victim mentality.
They don't know about it.
Everything is the white man's fault.
Right.
Retarded.
Yeah.
Low IQ.
It's a dangerous mindset.
It is, dude. And that's why the perpetual victimhood and they never really, do better.
Yeah.
It's because they always want to point the finger and blame everybody else, and it's ridiculous.
You got to bring this up when you debate Dean Withers.
Yeah, if he actually does it, that
What'd you agree on?
Yeah, I told him like let's set the debate. Tell me what platform you want to do it on, whether it's me or we go on Tim Pool and do a culture war or whatever. We could pick the topics, but we haven't even got there. I literally showed the DM. We're saying like, hey, when are we going to do this? I'm going to be in Vegas, but he didn't respond. The thing is, what I've realized about liberals, whether it's Hassan Piker or him or whatever, they're all cowards because they know that they argue on feelings and not facts. And that's the thing that I always have to my advantage is I am telling the truth and I got the truth on my side. So if I don't care if you want to debate me on systemic racism or you want to debate me on Israel, you want to debate me on, masculinity, whatever. Like I got the truth on my side because I rely on biology and facts, not my feelings, right? So, but it's very difficult for people to do that. And then on the left, they can't do that because everything is victim, disparity. Like
they'll lose. To be fair, they'll probably lose sponsors if they had you on too.
Yeah, that too.
They'll lose money. So I get it from a business point of view, but it does suck.
Yeah, because they never want to actually debate. Like they'll sit there and say that conservatives are idiots, right, or whatever. But then I'm like, all right, cool, let's have a discussion. They don't want to do it.
Yeah,
they don't want to do it. This is why I respect Destiny. I like Destiny a lot because me and him, even though we disagree on virtually everything. He will at least sit across from me and we'll have a debate. And we've done it many times. These other liberals, they won't with their cowards. Hassan Abi, this Dean Withers dude, they're cowards, bro.
Yeah. Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.